Joe Yabuki has to be the wildest and most insane boxer ever. If you thought Sendo was outrageous, look at what this madman did. When his coach lost his trainer license, it seemed like Joe's path as a boxer was over. He was fresh out of juvie and motivated. Yet, he couldn't begin his pro career. His coach even told him to join another gym, so he could polish his skills and develop because he was so talented. But look at what Joe says. He says, "I think I'm done with boxing. It lost its flavor." He doesn't want to admit it, but he only wants Danpei as his coach and no one else. That's loyalty, man. In front of the cops, he even says, "Maybe I'll go back to the streets and become a crime boss." This man just can't stop being a menace. But there's a little silver lining. Yoko's dad, the rich dude who runs the Shiraki boxing club, invites Joe and Danpei to the gym. Maybe they could train there. When Yoko mentions that Rikishi is training there right now, Joe can't believe his ears. Just hearing the name Rikishi makes him crash out. When the rich owner offers Joe to train at their gym and fight under their banner, Joe has an inner conflict. He says he doesn't want to owe anything to Yoko, and he's also attached to Danpei's shabby gym under the bridge. But there is no other way than joining the gym. What should he do? He says, "I've decided. I humbly refuse your offer to join the Shiraki gym." And look at the reason. This is the reason. It's Rikishi. He says, "I know that there's a rule that says that fighters from the same gym can't fight." This madman wants to beat Rikishi so bad that he's declining the chance of a lifetime. He has bigger plans. His coach even tries to change his mind. He would be stupid not to join just because of Rikishi, but Joe doesn't want to hear it. What? "I still have both my fists." It may look unreasonable now, but he has a plan to force the boxing association to approve their pro license. And he even has a plan that will push Rikishi to accept a fight with him. And bro, is that plan insane? The plan begins now. Just watch and see what insanity Joe has in mind. Rikishi hears what he just said and says, "What are you saying, amateur?" Joe crashes out again and runs with his fists held high. He's ready for a brawl 24/7 and back to the gym. He picks up his gloves and tells Danpei to just sit still and watch for now. That's exactly what Takamura would say. "I'm gonna build that bridge with my own two hands." That's what I love about Joe. He's literally only using his fists to get things done. The next day, he buys a ticket at the Korakuen Hall for the Rookie Championship Finals, the same tournament where Sendo and Ippo fought for the first time. He bought tickets to watch Rikishi's fight and also to execute his secret plan. Today's the chance to rebuild that broken bridge to the professional boxing world. Oh, the fighters' changing rooms. It says restricted entry. That's an invitation for a crazy dog like Joe. He walks down the stairs with his jacket over his shoulder as if this were his dad's building. One of the boxers runs to the toilet in the hallway as Joe leans against the wall. And boom, he literally makes him trip with his foot. Why did he do this? And he starts whistling as if nothing happened, that lunatic. The boxer asks if he tripped him on purpose. Did you trip on my foot or something? Jeez, easily tripping over himself like that. Must be a pretty lousy boxer. Bro, I've never seen someone as nasty as Joe and Hajime no Ippo. Not even Mashiba did this kind of shit. And he even keeps going. I guess he would win against weaklings and cowards, but against anyone else he'd lose. I don't know if this is still his plan or whether he enjoys it too. The boxers team tries to press Joe and tell him to leave because he's uninvolved. Joe says, "But I am involved." And boy, oh boy, is he involved. His master plan is already in the works. He reads the name Wolf Kanaguchi as he leaves the changing room area. Rikishi sees him as he leaves and says that his look is definitely not normal. It's a sign for trouble. Bro, Joe is starting smoke left and right. Someone stop this maniac. As they watch the fight, some random dude next to him says Wolf Kanaguchi is the hope of the Asia boxing gym. And there he is. It's the same dude that tripped over Joe's foot just now. He goes ham on his opponent and then knocks him out. Joe says he tripped over a strong one. This will be interesting. And there is the chairman of Asia Boxing. Joe sees him and realizes he knows the name. Chairman Otaka is one of the dudes who kicked Danpei out of the boxing association. Things are getting more interesting. His plan is working on multiple levels, because after the fights end there's a commotion. A troublesome fan is in Wolf's changing room demanding an autograph. Who could that be? Well, obviously it's none other than Joe Yabuki. He's in the locker room of the very dude that tripped over his foot. Look at that man's acting skills. He says, "You'll sign this for me? Thanks a lot." Rikishi doesn't trust Joe one bit. He says, "It's Yabuki, as I thought. What's he planning? My man just won his fight and can't even relax or celebrate because of Joe's insanity." And there it is. He says, "Wow, look at this ugly handwriting. Damn." Now, this is literally chicken scratch. I'd say it's quite fitting for a boxer of no talent and smarts. Pretty damn terrible. Wolf goes insane in the back. He's already charging Joe. But Joe keeps insulting him and basically says this guy ain't shit. Rikishi is the only one noticing Joe's plan. He's trying to pick a fight with Wolf. And then Wolf goes in with full force. Joe looks like it's his birthday. He says, I was waiting for this. The definition of wanting all the smoke. And boom. An explosion causes shockwaves at the Korakuen Hall. What just happened? We see everybody watching in awe and sweating from all the tension. Joe's head fell to the ground with blood dripping on it. Look at this. A mutual exchange. It's a cross counter by Joe. He hit a pro boxer with his knuckle just now. Fresh out of prison too. Rikishi sees this shit and starts stuttering in his mind. Cross counter? It's the same killer punch Joe hit him with when they were fighting at Juvie. And obviously the press goes crazy over this. They take pictures of the incident. Wolf is the first one that goes down. A pro boxer knocked out by a no-name? And then Joe goes down as well. When the press asks Rikishi if he knows him, he says Joe Yabuki, bantamweight boxer from Tange Boxing Club. Bro is promoting him with his stats and all. And then Shiraki tells the press about Otaka banning Danpei from the Boxing Association. Wolf is in the same weight class as Joe, and Otaka, who trains Wolf, was against Danpei getting his license? Well, what a coincidence. It sounds like Joe couldn't fight Wolf because Otaka was shitting his pants because his boxer might lose. That's how the story looks like now anyway. Rikishi says, "You finally did it, Yabuki. Just like back in Juvie. You're as splendid as ever." And then the press swarms Danpei's gym. The news are out. The Boxing Association's commissioner has permitted Danpei's boxing license. Otaka says his boxer's reputation has been tarnished, and so the only way to fix this now is by having him fight Joe Yabuki in an official boxing match. Joe really did it with his fists only. Oh, and his foot by making Wolf trip. This man bought a ticket to the tournament, made the dude trip to get him worked up, then demanded an autograph so everybody would see him. And then with the full audience, he knocked the dude out cold. He forced them to give them Danpei's license with the most outrageous provocation ever. A complete demon with limitless confidence. Very similar to how Sendo forced Ricardo to acknowledge him when he knocked him down in sparring. Subscribe if you think Joe Yabuki is insane. I'll see you in the next one.